Welcome to the CFOA Weekly Instructional Bulletin. This week we're going to be taking a look at action from week 0, 2024. Hopefully everybody had a good week. Fun to get back out there on the field after not being out there for several months. We've got a couple of plays on illegal formation, illegal blindside block, Disconcerting Act. There's a bunch to go through this week, so let's get into it. We're going to start off this week with actually literally the first play of my first tackle game last Thursday night, and a great get by the umpire here on an illegal blindside block. So it just goes to show you that you need to be ready play one of every single game. So here we've got a kickoff, and we're looking at this action here of this player kind of running against the stream a little bit. Hairs on the back of our neck should stand up a little bit, and we know in 943N that is a personal foul for an illegal blindside block to execute a blindside block outside of the free blocking zone with forceful contact unless that block is initiated with open hands. And then down in 2.3.10, we also have the definition of a blindside block, which is a block against an opponent other than a runner who does not see the blocker approaching. So unless this block is initiated with open hands, it is an illegal blindside block, and referees make sure you include the word illegal blindside block in your announcement, since there are legal blindside blocks if those can be initiated with open hands. But great job by our umpire here, being aware first play of the first game after not seeing anybody really get tackled in about 9 months. And here we're going to take a look at a disconcerting act by the defense and pay attention to this action up here by this linebacker, and then the looks like the nose tackle kind of coming in as well. But we know from 791A that no defensive player shall use disconcerting acts or words prior to the snap in an attempt to interfere with A's signals or movements. And in this particular case, you've got the linebacker coming up, kind of stomping his foot. You've got the or another linebacker there coming in, kind of simulating the start of a snap, which causes what looks like to be the left guard there to false start. So not sure what the call was here, but I thought it was an excellent example of the defense causing an offensive player to false start. Umpires, you should definitely have an opinion on this, especially if the flank officials have flags. Get in there, talk it out before getting to your referee, and come to a conclusion on whether or not the act caused the offensive player to false start, or the player just false started and did not know the cadence. So it's a tough call for all officials, but umpires and flanks definitely need to get together and have an opinion on this. The first couple plays that we're going to look at tonight is a vignette of several illegal formations on the offense. And just to review illegal formation, we know that the offense cannot have more than 4 backs in the offensive backfield, which includes the quarterback. So we're looking at here the line of scrimmage is the 47 going out, and we see the snapper down there having the ball, and then we know that there's this imaginary line, through the snapper, and we're going to be looking at the action here on the left tackle. So as I play this, you're going to see that it's marginally close and it's not a great angle for us, but that left tackle over there, is drifted into the offensive backfield, a little too much, which, again, might be marginal. Does not look like he's breaking the waist of the snapper, from this angle, but it's very close. If I were the flank official on that side of the field, I might get into my my umpire and say, get the left tackle up on the line of scrimmage a little bit more, or I'm going to bang him. Umpire, communicate this over to the left tackle. But in this clip, this is actually the very next play of this scrimmage here, where you see that left tackle, still back off that line of scrimmage a little bit. Now, maybe if his head was a little bit more forward, he'd be breaking the waist of that snapper. But in this case, because we've got the closest receiver to us on the line of scrimmage, the receiver at the top of the screen on the line of scrimmage, we've got a slot receiver up there at the top. We've got 5 players in the offensive backfield here, and something that needs to be flagged. And again, here on the very next play of this scrimmage, you see a little bit of motion, and that left tackle just continues to creep back. This play was shut down for some reason. Just as a reminder, in illegal formation, with 5 players or more in the offensive backfield is a live ball foul, enforced 5 yards from the previous spot. So if B were to intercept this pass, recover a fumble, etc., they would need to decline the penalty in order to take possession of the ball. So again, if we don't clean this up early, this player continues to creep a little bit back to gain an advantage on that right end on his side of the field. And here you can see that we've got obviously 5 players in the offensive backfield. We let this play go off, not seeing a flag. This is something that we definitely want flagged. This is not splitting blades of grass. There are clearly 5 players in the offensive backfield in this formation. So we're going to look at an excellent example of a player ineligibly downfield during a scrimmage kick here. And you'll see that I kind of went through this a little bit slow, and I looked at the numbers for each of the linemen and what this formation looks like. And you can see that we've got number 80 there on the end of his line of scrimmage. A player not numbered 50 to 79 may legally touch the ball as long as they're in a legal position at the snap. So 80 is eligible. You see that we've got 4 backs in this formation that are not numbered 50 to 79, so they're all eligible to touch the ball. And then as you go across, you see that the majority of these linemen are numbered 50 to 79. And as I've mentioned, if you're numbered 50 to 79 in any formation, you are not eligible to touch the ball or be beyond the expanded neutral zone when there is a legal forward pass. So in this particular play, you see that we have eligible numbers for eligible backs as well as receivers, with the exception of the snapper. The snapper, number 5, when this snap is muffed, illegally goes downfield and is covered there by the linebacker, who then can't get out to cover an eligible receiver, downfield. Umpires, this is your responsibility to know the number of the snapper. I know that there's a lot of best practices out there. The umpire there on the left-hand side looking at the right side of the formation, might say number 80 is eligible. On the other side of the formation, we've got number 1 and number 3 that are eligible. It's too many numbers to remember. Just remember and say to yourself that number 5 is ineligible. If a player numbered 50 to 79 catches the ball, we know that that's illegal touching and probably an ineligible downfield. So therefore, umpires, your responsibility, call out snapper number 5 is ineligible. Every other player that is in this formation is eligible by position and by number if they're not a lineman. And before we close it out tonight, I got a couple of requests to start doing really kind of a pre-game question of the week here, something to talk about in the locker room or think about pre-game. So A, 1st and 10 from the A20, quarterback A1's pass to A2 is incomplete. The back judge has a flag for defensive pass interference at the A35 on B21, and the umpire has a flag for holding by A79 at the A18. So umpire, back judge, how are you going to report these fouls to your referee? Headline judge and line judge, what are you doing during this conference and during this dead ball action? And referee, what would your announcement be in this case? And that's going to do it for the Week 1 Instructional Bulletin. Really appreciate everybody for watching tonight. Just as a reminder, if your unit gives instructional credit for watching these bulletins, there is a quiz embedded in the description of this YouTube video just right below. It's about 10 questions long. Go ahead and fill it out so that I can let your ICs know that you watched and give you instructional credit. Have a great Week 1, everybody. Slow whistles and call what you see. Take care.